we have the return of Javid Basharat versus Aiemann Zahabi. Javid obviously is 14-0, undefeated. He is 4-0-1 his last five. He's actually coming off that no contest. So he's actually 4-0, but he had that kind of no contest against Victor Henry where he kind of exploded Victor Henry's, groin area and he had to go to the hospital. So that was not a good look. Aiemann Zahabi, Ari Hawani, 10-2, 3-2 in his last five. He is coming off of that KO victory over Erceg about 8 months ago. As we look over the odds for this fight right now, we see that Javid Basharat opened up at a minus 400, and now he's a minus 650. I mean, for me, I want to kind of get started on this because Javid is actually one of my favorite fighters. I know people think this guy's boring, but all he does is win and kind of cash tickets from what I see. So I've had this guy in numerous parlays throughout the years. He's just safe money. Same thing with his brother. They're called the Basharat brothers, right? The Cash brothers. I think that Javid's just a terrific offensive and defensive grappler. I mean, I also think he's a good striker. Stays safe, pumps out good pace and volume, good variety with punches and kicks. He can fight in all distances, the clinch and the outside. Just extremely well rounded. And he's not one of those people who is like well rounded and just not good anywhere. I really do think that he's like a B plus level everywhere, at least. Like, I think this guy's really solid, except for power. He might be just like a B minus or a C plus or something like that. I do think that he counters really well, is really light on his feet. He moves really well, targets the body at a great rate too. And his accuracy and how he mixes in his grappling is just really good optics for a decision victory. Like, this guy is a machine when it comes to that. He has excellent cardio, can last for 15 minutes, scrambles well. He likes to go for the sub when they open up. Some dangerous chokes. I think his Dana White Contender Series fight, he choked someone to win that fight. So he does have that in his arsenal. And as we look into, his profile a little bit more, I just want to show people that, before the UFC, right, this guy has 6 submission wins, 5 KO wins, 3 decision wins. So, I mean, well-rounded dude. Obviously, he hasn't had many finishes in the UFC thus far, but, those could be coming pretty soon. I think that Zahabi, obviously looks like Errol Hawani, very similar striking kind of image right there. Decent all around fighter, throws with heavy counter power. I also think that he's for the other guy's brother, right? Fariz or something, Fariz Zahabi,
Yeah,
GSP's coach.
Zahabi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
GSP's
he's
coach.
the brother. I mean, he's a patient guy, waits for the opening when his opposition makes mistakes, low volume. I do think he can get backed up by more aggressive fighters. He has pretty good, grappling. He's never been subbed, 75% takedown defense. However, if you just look back at his opposition, I mean, he really hasn't faced any noteworthy grapplers to me, right? Probably the most noteworthy grappler that he's faced is Ricardo Ramos, maybe. But I think Ricardo's even more of a striker than he is a grappler, in my opinion. So I think that this fight will look somewhat similar to that Ricardo Ramos fight, but just lean towards more the grappling for Javid. Ricardo Ramos was able to take down Zahabi 3 out of 5 times, and he mixed in his takedowns on his way to a KO win. So I believe that Javid will be able to just outwork Zahabi on the feet and the ground in this fight. I think Zahabi's output and volumes is too low for a fighter like Javid, and I believe Javid would expose Zahabi on the ground by holding him down more efficiently than Ramos did. So, as always, the pick here is Javid via decision. Also, could see a sub, but I think this guy's going to decision again. Parlay piece, just stick him in there. Right now, his odds are minus 650. I swear I just said like 625, but now it's 650, so it's changed already a little bit. Gerard, what do you think about Javid versus Aiemann here?
Yeah, Javid is the more well-rounded fighter here. He's a complete fighter. I think just the power, like you said, isn't as much there. But Zahabi, he's gonna be the more dangerous fighter, I think. I think he looks to counter and commit to more powerful strikes. Um, Zahabi, he's older, but I think he looks better than he did before,
Yeah,
even though he hasn't had too much fights since his losses. Uh, he has that fight IQ. He doesn't force anything. He's pretty patient, looking for his shots, um, looking for those counter strikes, and yeah, I mean, he can be dangerous in this one, but I do think that Javid, he's just probably too quick, too disciplined to make those type of mistakes in a 3-round fight here. And I do also probably have Javid scoring more on the cards to a decision here. But with how wide the gap is, I think Zahabi has a decent enough shot if you're looking at the odds. I think there is some value in Zahabi here, but my pick here is still Javid.
for sure. Just to get an understanding, how do you if Zahabi wins this fight? How do you think his most likely? What do you think his most likely path is to victory, as far as like a sub KO decision? Like, what do you think?
Most likely path, I want to say a f- probably a finish or a split decision,
Mm,
but both of those are going to be hard to come by. I think Zahabi's going to have to find a way to hurt Javid early to catch him, like an Ling, but probably not as devastating because Javid probably won't get caught like that. Um, so he's gonna have to get Javid's respect somehow and not be so low volume, I think. But I think he can possibly do it, but it's probably not the most likely outcome because I still have Javid, but I do see how Zahabi might be able to get it done.
yeah, I mean, if Ricky Tercios can survive this guy, I think he can do. I think Javi can do it. I think because I watched that Tercios fight live actually. And, that was a funny, really funny fight. I'm surprised that Ricky even survived that fight, but yeah.